Hi, everyone. My name is Shakira. This is the Love and Money Show, and today we're going to talk about inflation and what is going on with that. So, as you know, inflation is when all the businesses get together and decide they're going to increase their prices. Hence, it costs more to buy groceries, it costs more to buy gas, costs more to get your hair done, it costs more to do everything. So, that is inflation. All the businesses are raising their prices. So, we're going to talk about what's going on currently with the federal government. The central bank is planning on holding a policy meeting this Tuesday and Wednesday to discuss inflation and how they can decrease inflation. So, as you may be aware, what they have done to decrease inflation is to increase interest rates. And so they are expected to announce another increase of 0.50% increase in the interest rate. And so what the Fed is trying to do is they are trying to decrease this inflation cost by increasing the interest rate. So you increase the interest rates, you decrease inflation. And so you may be wondering, what does a high interest rate have to do with low inflation? And so we're going to talk about that. And so, first of all, just think about what happens when you have low interest rate. Say, example, you have low interest rate on your credit cards, for example. So, when the interest rate on your credit card is low, that makes it easier to pay it off. When the interest rate on your credit card is high, that makes it harder to pay it off because essentially they're adding all these extra charges on there. So it's harder to pay it off when the interest rate is high. So they're increasing interest rates specifically on things like to buy a car and to buy a home. So, how does increasing your interest rates lower the inflation? So, say for example, you would like to buy a car that costs $10,000. But if you increase the interest rate on this car, it no longer costs 10,000 to buy this car. Just for an example, it costs 12,000 to buy this car because you're paying a higher interest rate. So what they're doing by increasing this interest rate is going to cost you more to buy things than it already costs. And they are expecting that this will decrease your spending. So cost more to buy a car. Well, you know it should cost 10,000. If you're going to have to pay 12,000, then you would reconsider buying that car. And then the business would reconsider charging you that much to buy the car. So that is how increasing the interest rate is decreasing the inflation. Increasing the interest rate, you're paying more for a product than you should be paying. So you're not going to buy the product. And when the business sees that you're not going to buy it, they're going to lower that price down to what the price should be. And so that's what the Fed is doing. They are increasing the interest rate in the hopes that you will decrease your spending, in the hopes that the end result is that the businesses will take their prices down to what it should be. So that is the correlation between the high interest rates and the low inflation. Instead of buying this car for 10,000, you're paying 12,000. So they expect to raise interest rates 6 more times by the end of the year. So this $10,000 car, just for an example, is maybe the business is charging 12,000. When they increase the interest rates, it's going to cost 15,000. Increase the interest rates again, it's going to cost 16,000. These are just examples. Increase the interest rate again, this $10,000 car is going to cost 20,000. So by the time they finish raising the interest rates, they plan to do this 6 times by the end of the year. So currently you're still spending. So the hopes is that eventually the interest rates will get so high that you will stop spending your money and the businesses will have to take a second thought on charging you as much as they're charging because you're not buying it. And so that is a correlation between high interest rates and the decreasing the inflation. So, like I said before, there is a central bank meeting, policy meeting. It is happening this Tuesday and Wednesday, where they are going to get together and they are going to discuss what is going on with inflation. It costs more money to buy groceries than it should. It costs more money to buy gas than it should. It costs more money to get your hair done than it should. It costs more money to do everything than it should. And so that is what they are doing. They're getting together and they are talking about what they are going to do about what's going on with this inflation. And that this is happening this Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Jerome Powell, he will be coming out with a meeting to summarize what they have decided on. So the Fed is expected to do another increase to 0.50% at this meeting. And the Fed is trying to slow down these surging costs. Because if you notice, the price of gas is going higher and higher, 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 and higher. And so what the Fed plans to do is they plan to help it go higher a little faster. They plan to do this 6 times by the end of the year. And like I said before, the goal is that you will stop spending so much, resulting in the businesses having no other choice but to lower their prices to what the price should be. And so that is what is currently going on over in the federal government. That is what they are discussing, inflation, amongst all the myriad of other things that are going on. They are discussing inflation. What are we going to do about these rising costs? They're going to increase it even higher. That's the plan. And so they're thinking that the power is in you, the consumer. Are you going to keep buying it? Because if you keep buying it, the businesses are going to keep charging. But if you stop buying it, they're going to have to reconsider how much they're charging you. So that is the plan. That is currently what is going on over in the federal government. And it's happening this week, this Tuesday, this Wednesday. That's what they are talking about, inflation. So now you know the correlation. We increase these interest rates. We're going to decrease this inflation. So my name is Shakira. This is a Love and Money Show. If you like the show, please hit the big red subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. Also, please hit the like button. It helps the channel. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your day.